This is a story that happened a few years back when I was in my early 20s. It was a Friday morning when I was getting ready to meet up with my friends from college to head to Coachella. My friends were always excited every time we brought up Coachella, as they were extreme EDM freaks that loved to rave and party like the majority of students on campus. I personally didn't like EDM and was more of a rap kind of guy, but I always attended the events as Coachella usually hosted special guests to do special appearances, so that made the idea of going much more appealing to me. Another reason I enjoyed going was the guaranteed barrage of beautiful females that would usually show up to these types of events. I remember my friends meeting up at my place to do our usual pre-drinking routine, which was something we always did prior to any events similar to this. I recall taking multiple shots with my female friends Jody and Mika, while my friend Nick watched us as he was unfortunately the designated driver. Cheers to getting wasted and not kissing someone that's related.
Cheers!
Cheers.
I guess I'll cheer with this. That's when we got inside Nick's vehicle and began to drift off onto the freeway, finally making our way to the much anticipated event we've been geeking about for months on end. The ride usually took us about an hour and a half to get there, but seeing as Coachella was a large event, it prolonged the trip by another hour or so due to the traffic from the Coachella attendees. When we finally reached the destination, Nick parked his car in the pre-designated lot as we began to make our way inside the Coachella premises. The view was extraordinary. I always got a huge boost of serotonin from the incredible visuals being displayed. I legitimately felt like every time I attended music festivals of this magnitude, it was always equivalent to being a kid in a candy shop. The majority of people I saw were of course the usual hipsters and jocks who would always have that one person in the group annoyingly vlogging every minuscule second of their experience. Then of course there were the extreme EDM ravers who always went over the top with their flamboyant outfits. But then there was that one occasional overaged creep who always looked out of place in events like this, considering the majority of guests were usually in their 20s and early 30s. I recall this one guy looking like he was in his late 40s, possibly 50s from the beer gut hanging down from his trousers and the rough-aged look he had on his face. I usually couldn't care less who attended these events, but this guy gave me straight-up predator vibes from the way he was lurking around the women. That's when the man eventually catches me looking at him. I nonchalantly look away as I can see the man in my peripheral vision approaching our group. We all awkwardly stare at him as he begins to catcall my friend Jody by saying,
"Hey sweetie, you want me to rock your world by adding a little something something to your drink?"
Like what?
That's when he begins to gargle up a load of saliva in his mouth and spits out a large slimy glob directly inside Jody's cup. She drops it almost instantaneously in disgust.
What the hell, dude?
Yo, what the hell is your problem?
Hey, I wasn't trying to rock your world, dimwit. I was talking to Miss Melons over here.
Get the hell away from us or I'm calling the cops.
Next time, say it a little louder, so that the cops can actually hear you.
He walks away as we began to head over to another vendor opposite to where the man was walking to grab more drinks. As the night went on, I was so plastered all I saw was nothing but hallucinative imagery while fanboying over the performances that were currently on stage. This happened for about 2 nights straight, as me and my friends would get completely wasted and pull all-nighters throughout our whole experience at Coachella. On the last night, I remember my friend Jody was sitting on my shoulders, which was a common thing for females to do during festivals like this. I recall a man in the midst of the crowd staring at my direction. I honestly couldn't tell if I was hallucinating or not, but all I can remember was that the man was standing in the opposite direction away from the stage as opposed to facing it. At first glance, I couldn't make out who it was, but then I realized that it was the same guy from before. This obviously had a million red flags written all over it, as no person in their right state of mind would look at the audience's direction throughout the entire duration of a live performance. What the hell? Ah!
What's wrong?
I just need to use the restroom.
Mark, is everything okay? Do you need me to walk you there?
No, I'm fine, Jody. Just wait here, okay? That's when I began to run towards the porta potties as I desperately needed to vomit. Jesus Christ. I recall sitting on the toilet seat trying to regain some of my consciousness back in hopes that I could sober up and join my friends at the concert again. That's when my entire world began to shake. No, I mean literally, my entire world began to shake as the porta potty began violently shifting back and forth. What the hell is going on? Somebody help me! Help! I was so intoxicated, I genuinely thought I was experiencing an earthquake. The porta potty then abruptly stopped shaking as I hear a shallow voice whispering,
I decided to rock your world too.
That's when I immediately got out of the porta potty and surveyed the circumference of my surroundings, only to see no sight of the man.
Are you okay, sir? I heard you screaming.
Ah! I began to sprint towards the sleeping area where our designated tents were, as I really needed to get some rest. I then got inside my tent and curled up in my sleeping bag, in hopes that I would sleep off my intoxicated state. I made sure to update my friends by sending a quick text in the group chat, just so they knew my whereabouts as I began to drift off. About 5 minutes later, I recall my friend Jody approaching the outside of my tent saying,
Hey babe, is everything okay?
I told her, yeah, I think I am.
I want to give you a kiss.
Okay.
Here, pass me your phone. I want to remember this moment forever.
Stop! Stop!
Kiss me! Kiss me! Kiss
Come on,
me!
Mark. Come on,
Kiss
Mark.
me!
Come on.
Kiss me!
Come on,
Kiss me! Kiss me!
Stop!
That's when I opened my eyes, only to be awoken by my friends. The festival had unfortunately came to an end, and it was time to make our departure home. I remember sobering up on the ride home while praising my friend Jody by saying, Hey Jody, I just want to thank you for consoling me in the tent. It means a lot.
Anytime, but when did I console you?
Jody, you kissed me in the tent, remember?
Ooh, didn't know you guys were a thing.
Mark, I don't know what you're talking about.
That's when I pulled out my phone as I remembered Jody taking a selfie of us kissing. But what I saw on my phone literally made me sick to my stomach. There were about a dozen selfies of me and that man laying next to me in the tent while I was passed out drunk.